Welcome to our exclusive one on one session, Women Leaders in Governance, Risk, and Compliance space, where we have insights, journeys, and industry trends. So, this session brings together remarkable women leaders who have a significantly, influenced the GRC landscapes. And through their stories, we aim to uncover valuable lessons, leadership strategies, and emerging trends shaping the industry. This is an opportunity to gain unique perspectives on navigating challenges, driving innovation, and contributing to the evolving world of GRC. So, join us for an insightful conversation celebrating the achievements and contributions of women in this dynamic field. So, today we have with us Dipika Somaiya, Senior Vice President, Compliance at Kotak Life Insurance. So, Deepika Somaiya is a seasoned compliance professional with nearly 2 decades of extensive experience spanning various facets of financial services and regulatory environments. A chartered accountant qualified in 2005, Deepika has held pivotal roles in organizations such as RBI and Motilal Oswal Securities, where she managed SEBI compliance, contributing to the development of robust regulatory frameworks in both public and private sectors. Her experience her expertise extends across general insurance with ICICI Lombard, life insurance with Bharati AXA and ICICI Prudential, and an illustrious decade long tenure with Kotak Life Insurance since 2014. Deepika's deep understanding of governance, her commitment to upholding regulatory integrity, and her leadership in navigating complex compliance landscapes make her an inspiring figure in the GRC community. She embodies a blend of strategic foresight and hands on experience that has been instrumental in driving regulatory excellence across the industry. Welcome, Deepika. Thank you so much for joining us today.
So, our pleasure.
Okay. So, like I mentioned, having this extensive experience, spanning across the various facets, were there any mentors or role models who significantly influenced your career path? And if yes, what lessons did you learn from them that continue to guide you today?
Yeah. So, as a compliance professional, you're supposed to look at, you at a very strategic level. You need to have a foresight, and you need to be very proactive. You need to think about others first. You need to give a solution. You have to have a solution-oriented approach. Now, for the person that I am, I am what I've been influenced a lot by my family. Okay, my father, my mother, my brother, who have stood by me at all times. What a person I am today has more or less, the ethics, the hard work, the morals that I have, all built in together within my family. The way they work towards people first, the customer first. Similar approach is what we followed in professionals. We look forward to ensuring that we're able to have a solution for the problems, for the regulatory controls that we have, we see it alongside. All of this has come from my family. Okay. So, other than that, from a spiritual angle, I do believe a lot in God's, the godmen. So, I believe in a saint. So, that has also helped me with the spiritual knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita, when we read, it gives a lot of inspiration. So, these are a few factors from my childhood. We are all God loving people. Okay, I don't say God fearing, I will say God loving people. So we do believe that every person who comes to us, whom we interact with, is in the human being God himself. So it's been a lot of inspiration from the family, and that is what I am today. They have, in respect to, apart from that, I've blessed with good mentors in my office. I have learned a lot about how to go ahead with the technical skill set with all the mentors that I've been working with, who have been legendary in their own professions, whether it is cybersecurity or whether it is for the operational risk, where you learn a lot from the foreign partners that you interact with. So I've learned a lot about humanity, about the hard work, about the honesty at your work, determination. You need to have a lot of persistent to keep trying, and then also one very important thing is keep forgiving people. So it's very important because as you need to move ahead, you need to forget and move ahead. So you need to keep forgiving. Instead of keeping grudges, you need to just move ahead. All that happened is for the betterment. Okay, it just pushes you for a better future. So this is what I've been learning.
Yeah, that's truly inspiring, especially how definitely how your family has played a very significant role, and how you are. I love the term that you used as well, not God fearing but God loving. So that has been a great inspiration for you in your journey, and definitely I'm so glad that you had a lot of learning that you could as well accomplish during your journey. But uh, having said that, have you ever had, in your personal experiences, where there are, I understand this, the landscape of leadership, right? There'll be a lot of male as well as female, people in the leadership space. So what complexities, or how have you navigated the complexities of a predominantly male dominated industry?
Okay, so during my school days, and I was an athlete, very inspired by PT Usha.
Wow.
Okay, so then we also have a Mary Kom who's an Olympic boxer. She won the medal.
Yes.
These are all first ones. Okay, in the male-dominated area, whether it is PT Usha, Mary Kom, or a Kalpana Chawla, Kiran Bedi for that matter. She was the first IPS officer, and we
Correct.
used to see that serial in the Doordarshan channel. It used to come. It's very inspiring. Then also one leader, Savitribai Phule. She was the first teacher. She was herself illiterate, but she was a teacher. Okay,
Right.
so she feminine activist, you can say. In those days. So those were the influencers, that made me stand up for many things for myself. Okay, and one very good environment was that we had very equal opportunities at home.
Mm-hmm.
So we were never differentiated between a male and a female. That gave me, and I used to play with a lot of friends who are my brother's friends. So it was very it was very equal for me, to compete with males. So though in offices we do find a lot of areas where you have to ask. Okay. So generally, nobody asks whether you would want to do this for male officer. But when it comes to female, there are definitely questions whether we thought you will not be able to do it, and you need to
Right.
ask for it. So those things do exist, but the boldness does come across if you follow right from the beginning. Those people have been inspiration. So it has never been a difficult task for me to get into a conversation with males and compete with them.
That's very inspiring, and how again, how your roots have also played a very significant role in who you are today and how you navigate the challenges that, or how you face every situation and overcome them. So, one quick question: what's the most significant risk you've taken in your career, and how did it shape your professional trajectory?
So I when I was when I was working in a CA firm,
Mm-hmm.
I was always working very hard in a CA firm because I wanted to practice. So
Mm-hmm.
my mindset was that I'm a Gujarati girl and I would get married, and then if I'll have to practice, I can practice from home.
Mm.
Okay. So I was working hard in a CA firm so that I could set up my own practice.
Right.
From there, there was a turn in my life when I said, no, I'm going to join a corporate
Mm.
and compete. Okay, and climb the ladder. So I started being a manager, assistant manager, and from an assistant manager in 2006, today I am a senior vice president, climbing the ladder. So that was a risk because I did not know how the corporate functions, and a CA firm and a corporate function is extremely opposite. So you have a different work culture, but I stick to what I've learned in my CA firm, and that ethics did help me reach up with a very clean conscience, with a long term approach, where with a lot of support from my peers, I could reach up to the ladder that I have reached.
That's again
But that
very.
was a risk.
Mhm.
That was a risk because many did tell me I entered the corporate life at around 32,
Okay.
when people generally are not hired at 32. So I was hired at 32 in corporate. And that is where, I had to start learning the way things happen. You know,
Right, right, right.
you just don't walk up, you just have to send a mail.
Yes,
In CA form, you walk up to a table and you just speak. Whereas
right.
in corporate, you have to send a mail first and then you have to invite, and then the people come, may or may not come. It's a different work culture. You
Absolutely
need to
agree.
block time in corporate, whereas in CA form, you just walk up to the person and do the things. So
Yes.
I did. It was a difficult thing for me and a challenge for me
Mhm,
initially,
mhm.
because I did not know the corporate language. You write in mails, you just speak out what your heart says, and that doesn't well
Right.
function in corporate. So, but that's a myth, I feel, and you are what you are, and if you stay what you are, it's very good enough.
That's very inspiring again, a very great takeaway, I would say. And now, considering the kind of landscape again, or the various positions that you have taken up, or various roles, I'm sure there would have been very much of very high pressure situations, or you would have had significant setbacks in your role. So, how do you cope up with this? And are there any strategies that you have developed to turn challenges into opportunities?
See, challenges will come.
Mm-hmm.
The more challenges you face, the more stronger you become, the more
Mhm,
confident you become.
mhm,
So, one should never run away with the challenges. In fact, the more challenging the situation is, the more fun it is to conquer it. Okay, so I believe in that there should be no shortcuts. There has to be a solution. So you have to work how to find it out. You have to be consistent. You just, whatever times, you have to keep working towards it. Maybe hard times, your speed may be slow, but if you are consistent enough, you can clear off your path. So I always believe that, you have to be persistent, and you have to be very positive thinking. You should believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, definitely the solution does come.
That's again inspiring to hear how you navigated, your challenges with such clarity and resilience, I would say. So, one more question. What values guides your decision making as a leader, particularly when faced with some sort of an ethical dilemmas or compliance challenges? Uh, what values guide you in your decision
So,
making?
so like I said in the beginning, you have to be very helpful. So you need to know the goal. You need, if there is a lot of clarity in respect to what is the organizational goal we need to achieve, and how are we going to do that, you can build up your strategy across it. Okay,
Right.
so it's very important that your vision is very clear. Okay, and ultimately what turns out is a happy customer is definitely uh, a consistent loyal customer will always keep uh, coming to you, and you are able to provide more solutions to them. It will also bring in more business. At the same time, if you're ethical enough, if you've had no shortcuts, if you're ethical enough, if you've in your heart very honest enough in your work.
Absolutely right. Very rightly said. So, one thing is, especially for a lot of women like us in the GRC space, right, who look up to you as an inspiration. How do you mentor such, women who would like to, climb up the ladder in the GRC space? Are there any specific practices or advice you prioritize in these mentoring
See,
relationships?
see, I always tell the young generation, do not use shortcuts. Okay, so with AI coming in place, the chat GPT being so available, I always tell them, that whenever I get an answer, when I tell them to do a project and something comes up very fast, I said, I don't want to see it. Because if ChatGPT has helped you do it, you've not read the document. I would prefer the person reading it, understanding it, coming with to me with more questions. And I am able to tell them this is what I want, until unless you draft 3 times, your draft is not correct. Okay. So even though if you write a small para, you need to look at it at least 3 times. And the third time, it's such a better version out, that you will yourself feel a smile over it, you'll feel good about it. That smile or that good is what you're working for. Because salary as it is going to come to your account. That's not going to go anywhere. For that, you just need to be present. But that's not going to give you the happiness. If you need happiness and a joy that you did something and an accomplishment, oh yes, I did something, oh yes, I accomplished something, nobody else in corporate, nobody else is going to give you that. that you need to give it yourself. And how can you give a pat on your back only when you think, oh God, I've done a good job? Your boss is always going to say a few more things to be added. Okay, I'll always come back and so my mom never gets happy with whatever levels of good work I do. She'll tell me this could have been still improved here. Because if she doesn't do that, I'm going to be happy with probably, 6, 7, 8. But until unless she keeps telling me, no, no, this could have been done better, I'll rethink about it and then probably strive for 10 or 11, that way. So the seniors and the mentors will always say, look it from this perspective, add value to it. Okay, but if you strive for first time, right, you need to look at the draft several times yourself. You need to review it 6, 7, 8 times. Then only the version will be such a good enough that it will cross 8 or 9 of your seniors. So I will always tell my juniors or my peer members. I don't tell them juniors because the new generation today has so many new technology savvy and there's so many new things to learn from them. They just forget with a zap and just move ahead. They just don't it's okay to fail. Let's work again. That's their thought. So I always tell them, it's not juniors, they are all my peers whom I am also learning with. So you have to be persistent. You have to work hard. There is no shortcut to success. Okay, you have to climb the ladder. You can't go by an elevator. If you go by the elevator, you've lost the fun of seeing the sky, seeing the touching the grass, and you feeling the staircase. So it's important that you go on by a staircase and not by an elevator. So you have to be focused. You have to do some work. You need to read. More you write, the more better your drafts are. More you read, more language is better. More you think, more deeper you get in insight. Your insights are more deeper. So I would always tell them no shortcuts, please. Perseverance, perseverance, hard work.
Very, very much inspiring again. There's no shortcut to success. And definitely, I'm sure a lot of women, who inspire or look up to you would definitely take this as as a learning.
Also, one small advice that I always generally tell people is, be
Mhm.
surrounded with very positive thinking people.
Right.
Okay, it's okay to be surrounded with critics, but do not be surrounded with people who are, who say, who are who will praise you, keep praising you. Do not be among them. Be among people who will criticize you. Be among people who will try to uh, push you hard. You
True.
may not like it, but be around people who are thinking good about you, who will find faults with you, rather than I mean, there's a difference between finding mistakes among with you and there's a person who's pulling you down.
Absolutely. I completely
So
agree.
don't be, yeah. So run away from the people who pull you down.
Hmm.
Okay, but be around people who find faults with you so as to make you better person for
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yes. Critics who will push you to the next stage of life. Completely agree on that. So, with respect to future trends now, what do you believe are the, again, as you look in the future, what do you envision as the greatest opportunity for women in the GRC field? And what role do you see yourself playing in shaping that future?
So I feel women have a great role adding value in the boardroom,
Hmm.
because of the basic traits of being hardworking, being punctual, being seen, being able to do multi-dimensional work, multi-talent. The peculiar thing about female senior leadership strategic people are that they can think from a multi-layer thing. You know, they not only think cost, they can think risk, they can think future. They will have a backup plan. That generally the female, all females can connect to. They can they will always have a backup plan, if not this,
Right.
even for the smallest thing. So they not only they think from the beyond the technical expertise, they are also they excel in emotional intelligence. They can do a very well conflict management. They can adapt. They are a team players, and they always believe in inclusive, harmonious work environment. So I believe females are the, the for the corporate world where there's so much to achieve and so many new stardoms to meet. Female seniors can actually add value. because they have a super talent. They always think innovative solutions. They're the best decision makers. They're the faster decision makers. Then they add so many valuable insights about a particular situation. They look it from a different angle. Their creativity, their inclusive thought process about everybody. They have a resilience and determination. I can go on and on with good things
Right.
about the females, the adjectives. I can go on and on, but I strongly believe that they have a lot of, among the diversity, inclusive nature of them can add a lot of value in an organization in whatever role they perform.
Absolutely. It's you have articulated it all so beautifully. Women in general are having the characteristics that could, bring them into the get the greatest opportunities for them in the GRC field. They just absolutely loved how it was articulated. So thank you. Definitely inspiring as well. So now one last question or one quick question. In your experience, how has technology, right, transformed the way organization approach GRC? What role do you think comprehensive platforms like Regorisk can play in driving efficiency and collaboration in this space?
Yeah. So um, technology is helping a lot
Mhm.
in GRC framework, because GRC is all about driving governance. Okay. And when you are driving, it involves a lot of people, uh, not only at the strategic level, the middle level as well as lower level. GRC has to be driven at right at the first level of the person.
Right.
May it be just a call center guys, okay, attending to the calls, or at a branch level attending to the customers.
Mm-hmm.
So the customer, the person sitting at the branch collecting the cash should exactly know what are the rules that have to be followed in speaking to a customer. And if he does it knowingly that these are the laws that he needs to follow, he will be much more happier, and he will have to take less exceptional approvals because he can take a call. He knows exactly why the law is, you
Absolutely.
know. So therefore, it is important that the compliance expectations are driven down to the first level of the person who's actually seeing the customer.
Right.
Okay. Now technology helps him do that because everything can be pushed down to him. Okay. But what so at a senior level, if a compliance framework has to be developed, and technology helps him push it down to all levels of people who needs to know that these are the things I need to do, and this is why I need to do, and if these are not happening, whom I need to approach to, and if there is an approach, how do I put it and document it and close it.
Right.
Okay. So if this technology provides one platform, one infrastructure where it passes on to the hierarchy that is supposed to go, it takes appropriate approvals on record, and all of thing is saved in a one repository to be available at any on a fingertip, to be available at a future time zone. Okay. If technology is not there, all would, the time spent of strategic compliance leaders will be on saving the document on your hard drives, retrieving again, preparing a tracker. You know, only thing that has changed from Munim writing in a notebook to a tracker typed in a Excel sheet. So technology is actually, if I've seen a lot of GRC tools and even your tools, or maybe many tools I've seen, which actually relieve the compliance strategic thinkers of all of these hardships. So they are free to only say what I want, and the technology pulls it up for them. So they are free for a strategic thinking,
Right.
which will be aligned to the business, laying down more steps, putting in more creative time for that, empowering a better organization. For example, I also appreciate Tata always. Tata has been for always ancestrally. Tata has been, it doesn't think for today, it thinks for generations ahead.
Hmm.
So if the compliance GRC modules, technology helps them think at a strategic level for generations ahead, leaving them free from this all regular day to day, data record
Right.
keeping and pushing it down to the seniors and putting it, ensuring whether it's done or not. Technology builds in the gap and creates space, strategic time important because time is the most rarest thing, and everything in regulatory changes are happening so fast that what is oil is time. You know, data is oil, time is also oil because there's so many regulatory changes happening across. So technology saves your time, leaving the time for the strategic thinkers to do many more things.
Very rightly said. So yeah, right, like you mentioned, it brings in a lot of your insights on the processes, and you're quickly able to it also improves your quicker decision making and all of that. So I com-
It creates a repository. It creates a repository. It's a one-time investment probably, but it leaves a lot of confidence among the seniors. You know, among the board that something is automated. It gives a lot of comfort.
Right. Very, very true on that as well. So, yeah. So, Deepika, thank you so much for taking the time to share your incredible journey and insights with me today. It has been an inspiring conversation, and my key takeaway from this interaction would be that there is no shortcut to success. Hard work and perseverance are, essential to, achieving excellence. And moreover, yes, it is evident how women, with their natural ability, like you mentioned, to maybe multitask or adapt and adopt to situations, uniquely position them to be an exceptional leaders, driving change and inspiration in every field, just like you definitely are. And your experiences and perspectives have actually left a lasting impression, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to learn from you. So, thank you once again for your valuable time and being such an inspiring figure in the GRC community.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and the pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.